And we are live here in Weatherford, Oklahoma for the first round of the 4A playoffs between the Bethany Broncos and the Weatherford Eagles. This one should be a talented teams, a lot of skilled players on both sides of the ball. One of the players that will be a key player on both sides of the ball tonight, most likely for the Weatherford Eagles, is out there getting ready to take the field as captain. Number 88, C.J. Nixon, is a four-star recruit at defensive end and wide receiver, committed to OU earlier this year, also plays basketball. He's a do-it-all guy that's great at getting pressure on the passer, can also catch a lot of passes on the offensive side, really been utilized more on defense this season, but not a guy to count out on either side of the ball for the Eagles. Offense is predicated on a rushing attack that spreads the ball out all over the field, and we're sort of spread out here on top of the press box, myself and Brendan Rodriguez, Jordan Rodriguez, Keegan Maddock, all here for what we hope will not be the final game of the Bethany Broncos season. We'll need to move on past a really tough opponent, though, that we're ranked a couple spots ahead of in the 4A rankings. But on the field, as far as film study goes, this looks like it should be a really tight contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is their first really big challenge since I think they played Tuttle. I know they played Hera, Tecumseh, and Medill, and they beat them pretty bad these past couple of weeks. So I really think Weatherford is going to be, a really big challenge, especially not playing somebody tough for a couple weeks. But and if you do hear a little bit of wind and chatter on the mics, it is very, very windy up here. We're pretty high up.
Yeah, we apologize. We're dealing with it. We're out in the elements like the players themselves. 55 and very windy. Thankfully, very dry here in Weatherford for this game here with your Bethany Broncos now. Captains taking the field. We've got Saylor out there, Ben Saylor. Number 21, Wyatt Geisler. Looks like number 22, not Lane Johnson.
I think Tolley's out there as well.
And then Tolley, no Judson Gilliland out there as captain. Just giving some of the other guys on the team a chance, I guess.
No, that is Dole. That is out there, number 12.
Bob Dole? No, I'm just kidding. Jackson Dole,
yes,
out there, number 12, fullback, tight end, H-back, sort of one of our do-it-all guys. We've got a couple of those. Judson Gilliland, as mentioned, junior running back and middle linebacker. He'll be key tonight. Another guy that plays both sides of the ball very well, Devontae Melton. He'll need to fill those gaps against all these ball carriers. Weatherford, they don't have anybody that's over, I think, 400 rushing yards on the season, but they've got about 5 guys that are over 300 rushing yards on the season, if the statistics that I've found on Max Preps are correct, that is. But guys that you really need to watch out for, Cashin Skinner. He wears number 22, running back. They motion him sometimes out into wide receiver and then hand the ball out to him. Kind of a flex back situation. Used to watch football back in the 80s. You ever dig up that old 80s football?
Oh, I wish.
Where they got that, they got those old positions, split end, that don't exist anymore.
And it looks like, I think Weatherford's going to be kicking the ball off to Bethany. And they're going to be kicking with the wind. So Bethany will be going against the wind.
That'll be tough.
Yeah.
And
this wind is pretty strong.
Well,
I think about 20-mile-an-hour gusts.
We've got kickers that have good legs on them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So that should come into play. Jaggers, and then Griffin Tarrant kicking off. Or not, Jaggers kicking off, and then Griffin Tarrant on the extra points. Tarrant has, I don't have officially any statistics, but he's got to be at least a 75-80% kicker on extra points. He's really consistent, really good, accurate kicker. And then as far as legs, Denton Jaggers has been smacking him out the back of the end zone all season. With this wind against him, though, could be a different story, so we'll see about that. But with the wind behind him, I'd like to see that. I guess we'll see that in the second quarter.
Yeah, he might be able to put it through the upright.
I'd love to see that. I wish they counted that for points.
That would be awesome.
I always like doing that in NCAA.
Like 1 point or something?
An overpowered kicker. But Weatherford, I think, about to take the field. Home crowd very hyped up. Stands are mostly full, and you could feel the palpable atmosphere in the town itself, I feel like, when you came driving in.
And that's going to be another tough testament for Bethany, is having to play away for the first playoff game is tough, and it's going to be an advantage for Weatherford for sure.
And having to play away for the first time since, I think, October.
Yeah.
String of home games there at the end of the season after a very long run of games away from home. They got very used to playing in the I don't want to say bowels, that would be rude, but playing in the confines of Southern Nazarene University Football Stadium as they were there. But here's our Broncos coming on the field. Away side tightly packed in. That's for wind resistance right there, Brendan. That's what that is.
Is it?
I like to think so. Plus, I mean, prime real estate at the 50-yard line. That's what you want. So some keys to this game tonight. Something Brendan and I were discussing pre-game. This team, that is to say Weatherford, on defense likes to give a lot of cushion on the outside to the wide receivers, almost about 10 yards worth. If you folks remember watching OU defenses under Mike Stoops and being confounded why they would give the wide receivers so much room to operate on the opposition. It's kind of like that. And really, it's an easy technique to not get beat deep, I think is what it is. But it exposes a weakness, which is, hey, we can get beat deep, so don't go deep on us.
Yep.
So keys, I would say, Wyatt Geisler. What do you think?
You know, I just think, obviously you talked about the cushion of the corners and the safeties. I think you need to, find something underneath, little curl routes, slants, check downs, and just pick up, positive yards and first downs. It's really all you need. And obviously going against the wind, you're going to need some ground game, put some stuff on the outside. Gilliland does a really good job at bouncing around the outside and finding a gap. So I think that's going to be their plan of attack, is just try to get Gilliland warmed up and get going on this, early drive.
Certainly, if we can establish the run game, it's a lot easier to go over the top afterwards. Yeah. So Weatherford will be kicking off mostly with the wind, but the wind kind of blowing a little bit, what's this direction? Really sort of southeast, I guess it's blowing.
Yeah, crosswind.
So sort of all over the place. Will definitely make throwing the ball difficult, but both of these teams are teams that are really solid at running it. So we'll see how this one plays out. 12 minutes on the clock. Fans are ready. Game is underway here in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Bethany Broncos, Oklahoma Sports Network. We're doing the thing. Received. Cut outside. That's brought cross. Good return. Picks up all the way to the 43-yard line. Bethany's got excellent starting field position.
I think that was number 4 for Bethany.
Ah, shoot. It was Jagger. Oh, what is his name? We don't have our paper rosters in front of us. We are ill-prepared, folks. Jagger Weaver.
Yes.
Yes, number 4, Jagger Weaver on the return, not Brock Cross. No excuse for not being able to read the numbers tonight. They are bold purple on white, but we do have a penalty against Bethany on that return, unfortunately, so that'll walk them back all the way from the 43. Instead, it looks like to the 20-yard line. That's a rough start.
Very rough start.
21-yard line.
Yeah, great return, and that is, just getting pushed back to the 20, but starting off at normal position.
Wipes it off the board, but at least we're not in the shadow of our own goalposts here. Geisler and Malaska split out wide on top of each other at the bottom of your screen. Jackson Payne with a heavy set, and then Judson Gillen is going to get the direct snap, though. Takes it out to his right, picks up a couple, and gets hit hard before he goes down. So Bethany trying to establish that run game early on, just as we discussed, Brennan, but
yep.
Weatherford has guys that can pursue up and down, side to side.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be keying off of, like you said, number 88, Nixon, correct?
Yes.
His last name?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to be keying off him really all night, and I'm surprised they've got him in the middle and not on the outside, but, Bethany.
He's a big body. Yeah, it might be that's where they want to put him, especially knowing that Bethany likes to run it up the middle. So they'll fake it up the middle and then try and bounce it outside. That's going to be no gain carry for Judson Gilliland, pretty much getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and so what you're seeing is they're going with a 3-man front, so that really allows you to have like a down safety or 3 linebackers, and they're keying on their linebackers right here. And both plays previously, it was tackled by a linebacker, so That's going to be your key tonight, is them rushing 3.
Key early third down here for the Broncos. It's 3rd and 10. 10:35 on the clock. Payne in the shotgun. 2 split out to his right. Passing to his left. Has a man one-on-one. Some contact, but no flags. Pass falls incomplete. It'll be a 3 and out for the Broncos on their first possession. Rough start.
Yeah, really rough start. They had a couple yards on their first play and, kind of got choked up on their second ones and tried to get, something deep and establish in the air. But really, really good defensive coverage by Weatherford. It's kind of handsy. You could look for a pass interference, but, home game, I don't think you're going to get many of those.
I was going to say, I think we might have got that call in Bethany, but we're not going to get that one here. So that will be a quick 3 and out with 10:27 left to go here in the first. We're going to punt the ball.
Oh, it's blocked.
And they got a chip, or they got a piece of it for sure. But it takes a Bethany bounce before it's picked up by Weatherford's returner at the 48 of the Bethany Broncos, and he goes nowhere. They're on him like flies on a, on some food at a picnic.
Yeah, way to catch yourself there. But, hey, good tackle by, I think it was Jagger Weaver right there. Grabbed him and hurled him over his shoulder. You always like to see those tackles. Yeah,
great way to close it down because the Weatherford returner clearly trying to catch them off guard, make something happen, but nothing doing against the Bethany kick coverage unit. But really great field position for the Weatherford Eagles here on their first drive of the game. 10:16 on the clock in the first here. Weatherford likes to run a lot of different sets as far as their offensive looks, but they tend to really just run the ball. Quick handoff to the sort of tailback split end, just like what we were talking about before the game. He looked like he was a wide receiver, but he comes in and takes the handoff and goes around the corner.
Yeah, and the difference between defenses in the Bethany and Weatherford, is, Bethany likes to rush 4 and kind of send a guy on the edge, which is usually, either Gilliland or Malaska. But they're really keying in on the defensive line for Bethany tonight.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really important for us, both getting that push early up front and then the linebackers closing down in pursuit, which is exactly what they do there as Weatherford drops back to pass, and Stone Chisholm, the quarterback, gets eaten alive in the backfield. Was that Gilliland on the sack?
That was Jackson Dole.
Jackson Dole. We were talking about him pregame, filling in, looking like Judson Gilliland with his pursuit of the quarterback, closing down and pulling him to the ground. Huge defensive play when we needed one.
Yeah, they did some kind of crossing mesh combination over here, and we did a really good job at, blocking that up.
They definitely like to use a lot of lateral movement, motion to try to trick the defense. Quick handoff in the backfield to the running back there, and that's the guy we were talking about, or I was talking about before the game, number 22, Cashin Skinner. Quick little scat back, picks up a first down on 3rd down, and so the big sack ends up being not much for the Broncos as the chains move here for the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the Bethany 34, 8:50 on the clock.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of guard and tackle pulling tonight.
That was also something I noticed a lot in the film. Not only do their offensive linemen pull a lot, but they're athletic. They're quick. And we'll have a quick little handoff here. End around to the receiver. That's number 1 for the Eagles, Cy Scamahorn. Hopefully I'm saying that name right.
And they've also got their fullback kind of slash running back, number 33, Ty Short, which is somebody you don't want to get in front of. That's somebody, Devontae is really going to have to hit head on to, stuff those A-gaps that have been wide open so far.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been kind of eaten up. I haven't seen a lot of him so far. He's trying to get in there over the top, right in the middle of your picture there for the Bethany defense. They're going to hand it off up the middle again here. Good push by their offensive line, but Bethany meets it. Gain of only about a yard or 2.
That misdirection, is really tough, especially in playoffs. You expect some, people to go long and, move, but when you've got a, athletic quarterback under center with athletic linemen that are moving around, faking handoffs, going out, it's tough. As a defense, that's tough.
It really is. It sort of reminds me of a highlight I saw of Texas the other day running a play where it was almost like a fake double wide receiver reverse, and then they flipped it to a tailback in the backfield. That kind of thing can really confuse a defense. Pivotal 3rd and short here. Quarterback dropping back, has a receiver over the middle, but it's broken up very nicely. Malaska on the play.
Yeah, that was really good. He was almost taking on 2 guys. Obviously, he was covering on the outside, but he met the guy that was crossing post and just, slapped it down. Not a very good throw either.
Well, Malaska was a guy that we called out before the game, saying that he was someone that was going to have to get involved on both sides of the ball for us to have a good chance tonight. Making a huge clutch play there and looking a little frustrated at the end, maybe even that he didn't get a flag from that contact. They're definitely aggressive on these routes. Look at that. Nixon's out there wide on the right side. C.J. Nixon, 4-star recruit at the top of your screen, but they're going to run it to the quarterback. Left side.
I think
he
he's
has
short.
a good gap, but I don't think he got it.
Nope, he did not.
And the signal looks like the Broncos get a stop. Huge early defensive stop. Turnover on downs, and the Broncos will get the ball at their own 28. Big stop. Did you see who was in there on the tackle?
Oh, they gave it to him.
Oh, they gave it what? Oh, we're not supposed to say that, but goodness, that is surprising. Didn't look like he had enough, but Homers get the call. We are legitimately quite surprised here. New quarterback in. He's going to take a shot left side, contact and bodies up in the air, but no flags.
And that is 2 for 2 from Alaska. Great defense.
He's really getting it, man, jumping around like a pro.
And that was a really good ball by that quarterback. I didn't even notice they subbed in a new quarterback.
They did. That's number 8. He's not even on the Tyson McSparrett.
Yeah.
Tyson McSparrett had a heck of an arm there.
Yeah, it was a really good throw.
Might be that Stone Chisholm is more their run guy. I can see he's kind of stockier.
Yeah.
Definitely more of a running type quarterback like a Tebow, and then maybe they send in their McSparrett guy whenever they need a deep ball. They're going to hand off real quick to Jet. He goes on a little jet sweep from the left side. They like to do that.
Yep. That was a really good pickup by the safety, number 22. And
that's not Lane Johnson.
Yeah. But that seems to be their second down play, is trying to get stuff on the outside with number 15.
Yeah, that's Jet for the
Jet.
Weatherford Eagles. That's why I was thinking it's funny they get Jet on the jet sweep. They like to do that with him. But that's Garrett Johnson. Had to look up his name real quick. I don't want to call the guy the wrong name on the dang playoff broadcast. So another big third down here for Weatherford from the Bethany 22. 6 minutes on the clock. They fake the handoff. Quarterback's in trouble, being pursued. He has time to throw, though. Takes a shot to the end zone, but it's short. Had a man, but couldn't quite get the ball there. Looking sort of Patrick Mahomes-esque in the way he could slip away from defenders and get the ball off. But the difference is that Mahomes somehow makes the throw, and that's why he's in the big league.
Yeah, we had really good pressure on the quarterback. I didn't see the numbers or who was chasing him, but we did really good of getting pressure on the quarterback and not allowing him to just sit back there and throw the ball. And thankfully it came up short because he had a little bit of cushion and could have scored.
It really is tough to make an accurate throw, though, in these conditions, though. I'm sure as a former quarterback you know this, because I can literally feel the wind coming from the front, then my back, then the front. It's all over the place.
The ball gets a little harder and smoother.
Oh, that's the truth, I'm sure. Chisholm back to pass on this one. Takes a shot to the left, and it's intercepted. That's picked off by Jackson Payne. The quarterback and safety, the quarterback of the defense, makes the biggest play of the game so far. That is going to be a turnover for the Broncos.
Look at our defense go. We were worried about that and that the attack that Weatherford has with their quarterback and their running back game, but we are showing some push on our defensive side for sure.
So far, they are really answering the call on the defensive side of the ball, without a doubt.
And that's momentum you want, especially being on the road against a good team, is things like that to happen on defensive side to put down the momentum for the opposing team's offense.
Huge play, without a doubt. Now Jackson Payne gets to come right back out and run the offense. He's in the pistol with Judson Gilliland behind him. What were you saying, Brendan?
Let him throw it.
Right, absolutely. Let him take a shot. 5:47 left in the first. He's going to hand off to Gilliland instead, who makes a nice cut, takes it up the middle, and picks up, looks like about 4 or 5 on the play.
Yeah, they're going to be keying on Gilliland a lot tonight, especially when you're doing film watching for first-round playoffs. You got to pick out the guys, because coaches like to give it to their stars when it's playoff time.
Because it's the time when the guys make big plays, like Malaska. Man, he's been a good defender.
Yeah.
He has been a good defensive back, but The plays he's making tonight, that jump on the goal line almost left me speechless. 5:10 and counting on the clock here. 2nd and 6 from their own 17. Fakes the handoff to Gillen, has a wide open wide receiver. It's Seth Greiner, and it slips through his hands, but it is thrown just a little too hot by Jackson Payne. He did want to throw it, and he had a chance to, but he's a little excited.
Yeah, after seeing that, you can see a well-tuned offense. That's a kind of a ride RPO. He's looking for a soft spot, so that is a good thing to see early in this ball game. Really good.
Big time 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Still at their own 17. Payne calling out signals to his line. 4 wideouts. Johnson in motion from the right. Payne's going to roll to his left. Stops. Throws it over the middle to Greiner. Oh! Greiner almost had the catch. It was in his hands, and it falls out as he falls to the ground. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, and it'll result in a 4th down and a punt by the Broncos. Tough.
Our producers over here silently screaming. All of us thought that was a catch. And, hey, you got to give a note to quarterback when he's on his back foot rolling his opposite side against the strength of his arm, plants and throws and gets hit. That was nearly a 50-yard throw.
That is tough, man. That reminded me of Favre doing that for the Vikings in the playoffs, man. And that's Brett Favre.
Yeah.
What an arm from Payne. It's too bad we couldn't finish it off, but it was a tough catch to have to make by Greiner.
Yeah.
Punt is high, but doesn't go too far, but takes a Bethany bounce to the 48 of the Broncos again. So Weatherford will start the drive at pretty much the same spot as they did on the last drive. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. We haven't even had an opportunity. Oh, no, we'll stay on the field here. Write it out. Looks like they're going to come back on pretty quickly here. Bethany's defense has really shown so far, been a bright spot. Offense has been a struggle, but defense has been really solid. Melton definitely not making as many plays up the middle as we thought he would, but the pursuit from the outside linebackers and the safeties coming up, the huge interception from Jackson Payne, and then Malaska, of course, making plays like Deion Sanders or something on the outside. Pistol formation. Flag's going to fly here before they can start the drive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be false start on Weatherford.
That is going to be the call. So that'll move them out of Bethany territory back into their own. 5 yards from the 48 is then going to be their own 47. So 1st and 15 now for the Eagles. Nixon out wide at the bottom of your screen, lined up against our guy Malaska. 4:52 on the clock, left here in the 1st. Handoff backfield, slips the tackle, barely gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's pulled down on the play.
Oh, he's got his
by a fella whose jersey is pulled up over his back pad.
That's Tully, though.
That is Charlie Tully. Charlie Tully in on the stop. Great pursuit. We're seeing it all over the field. These guys had their Gatorade before the game.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 13 now from the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line here, the Weatherford Eagles. 4:15 on the clock and running. 3 wideouts split out to the right side. They motion one from the right to left, and then they run it straight up the gut right side with the quarterback. He picks up about 5.
Yeah, really good patience by Gillen. They try to get a man on motion, trying to see if the the defense was in man, but they weren't. So great patience by Gillen and Devontae to stay right there and fill the gap and make a really good tackle that could have, had more yards on it.
They make a good tandem, those two, for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on you when there's just 2 linebackers.
Without a doubt. Well, and I think Garrett Johnson out there sort of plays a hybrid role.
Yeah.
So shotgun set, 2 running backs. They're definitely taking a deep shot. Left side to Nixon. Contact. No flags, and the home crowd doesn't like it. But Malaska does.
Hey, that's 3-0 right there against, one-on-one or, trying to cover it up in the backfield. But they're trying to take a shot to their star Nixon, but this far he hasn't done much.
Fantastic coverage by Malaska and resulting in a big-time 4th down, another Huge stop on the deep pass there.
And I know it seems simple to, just the original eye or some, viewer or something like that, but those things that Malaska are doing is actually very, very impressive and very important.
It's a good punt right over the head of our returner. Bounce out the end zone for a touchback. So we will take over on our own 20-yard line. And we'll go ahead and take a real fast break here. Bethany Broncos football, Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma at Weatherford Eagles Football Stadium for the Bethany Broncos taking on Weatherford Eagles here in the first round of the 4A playoffs here on Oklahoma Sports Network. Bethany Broncos taking over on their own 20-yard line after a big defensive stop. Evanson Malaska going one-on-one with four-star recruit C.J. Nixon for the Weatherford Eagles. So far, as my colleague Brennan pointed out, he is 3 for 3 on one-on-one coverage matchups, succeeding over Nixon. But on our first play, handoff up the middle didn't really get much, pretty much back to the line of scrimmage. Makes it 2nd and 10 now for the Broncos on the 20, 2:35 and counting on the clock. Payne's going to get the ball, roll out right. Looking downfield, he's got Geisler, but he's going to throw it underneath to Malaska instead. Referee's going to wave that one incomplete. Be 3rd and 10.
I think they may have gave it to him.
Oh. Looked like
it was close.
It was close. I thought I saw at least one official wave incomplete, but somebody else said complete. We'll take that. So great completion to Evanson Malaska. Picks up about 8-9 yards. Makes it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, good patience by Payne to not just tuck it and run and find somebody downfield.
Yeah, really solid. He honestly had Geisler a little bit open, but he didn't take it. I formation here. Gilliland is the fullback. They're going to run an option play, read option. Payne keeps it, squirts up the middle, and he got enough for the first.
It seemed like a bit of a miscommunication. He extended the ball like he was going to hand it off, but just took it.
I thought it was a triple option.
I'm not sure.
No?
But it could have been. But, hey, first down's first down.
Right? Hey, if they're running the triple down there, let's do it. Army style, baby. Triple out of the I formation with some flex bone thrown in. Get crazy with it with this crosswind and all this. Man, throwing the ball is going to be difficult. But so far, Payne's out there with, I think, the only completion to his own team. Tight shotgun set here for the Broncos on 1st and 10 from their own 33. They're going to give it to Gilliland. He's got room on the left side. They almost pulled him down by his ankles, but he slipped out, picks up enough for the first down. Strong run by Judson Gilliland.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a stud so far, just finding the gap open and, getting some really good yardage. And right there was just a really good play by Gilliland.
1:36 on the clock and running here left in the first. Bethany showing some solid momentum on offense for the first time tonight so far. And Brennan, if I'm not mistaken, that away support side has slowly filled out pretty nicely.
Yeah, they've almost got every seat over there filled up.
Good to see our Broncos fans traveling well. 1:15 and counting on the clock, 1st and 10 from their own 45. Payne in the shotgun, rolling right, looking like he may pitch it, keep it, or throw it, and he got clocked on that one. I think a piece of helmet came off or something. He's slow getting up, too. I hope he's all right. Looks like he is. There he is. Payne takes a hit and then keeps on going, man. What a rough tackle that was.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky call. I think we've seen the 3rd quarterback draw kind of triple option thing they've done, and that's just something, you don't want to get your quarterback hurt, but Payne's a tough guy.
He's one of the prime assets on the team so far. He's been one of the impact players of the night, maybe the impact player of the night for the Broncos, besides Malaska. Tight formation, pistol set with Melton as the fullback. Gillen's the running back. He'll get the handoff up the middle and no gain. It's going to make it 3rd and 5. Clock running out on the first quarter. It's at 15 seconds, and they'll probably let it just drain out. So a scoreless first quarter as the temperature continues to drop here in Weatherford, and the wind seems to be picking up. So 0-2-0. Back here with the second quarter shortly. Bethany Broncos football, Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
And we're back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma for the Bethany Broncos taking on the Weatherford Eagles. First round of the 4A playoffs here on Oklahoma Sports Network. Broncos have the ball on their on the 50, facing a 3rd and 5 to open the second quarter here. Scoreless so far. Payne rolling out, throwing back to his left, has a receiver. It's Geisler, but he overthrew him, and the wind might have had a hand in that one just a little bit.
Yeah, changing field position's tough, especially being a quarterback and having to throw a little bit harder going against the wind. But now they've switched and are going with the wind, kind of a crosswind. And that one just shows that the wind does have an effect on the ball.
So it's a 4th and 5. Punt team is out there. Probably the best decision to make for sure here when your defense is playing lights out like they have so far. And it's a really good punt right down the middle of the field. Some of that wind helping him out on that one for sure. Returner getting tangled up, but he's making people miss. Cutting out to the left side now. All the way across the 20. It looked like they had him at the 5. But he gets all the way up to the 24, maybe 25. Really good return there by Talon Scott for the Eagles. He just wouldn't go down, Brennan.
No, that's a lot of arm tackling from Bethany. I'm not sure how he didn't go down on the 5 when they had him by his foot, but, you know, he managed to get out and, you know, get like 20 yards.
Wriggled out, man. Some guys just have that ability. You ever watch those Dante Hall highlights? He's a kick returner for the Chiefs. Look up some Dante Hall highlights. Devin Hester. Those are guys that could make people miss. We're guys that just talk about old football players. That trope. Motion from right to left here for Weatherford. They do that a lot, but they're going to throw or just run it straight up the middle with their quarterback here on 1st and 10 from their own 25. No gain, though. Pretty much gets back to the line of scrimmage and then goes down. Stone Chisholm, several carries tonight, leading the ball carrier so far for the Eagles.
Yeah, and Bethany's doing a really good job at, you know, sniffing out those halfback draws and them trying to get up the A-gap, and especially outside. So a lot of positivity from Bethany's defense.
Certainly seems like they watched their game film. Real important. With as much talent as there is on the field on both sides of the ball, it really is down to who's prepared, coaching-wise and player-wise.
Yep.
2nd and 9 here, 10:50 on the clock and counting in the second quarter.
That's holding.
Faked handoff in the back. Brennan sees holding. I see a fumble, and it looks like the Broncos recovered. It's Jackson Payne again. This guy's on fire.
Oh, hey, you know who that was that caused the fumble? not Jackson Payne, excuse me. That was Malaska. He took on their head star.
Alaska again, my goodness.
Yeah, he took on head-to-head on their star Nixon and got off the block. That's what I thought was holding at first. Nixon was holding Malaska a little bit, but he got around him and made the tackle.
Wow.
What a guy.
Big play by Malaska and Payne. Those are two names we've been saying a ton tonight so far in this first half, and we keep saying them. So ball turned over. Bethany going to get the ball now at the 29 of the Weatherford Eagles. Shotgun set with Gilliland in, so we got a different set here. But Gilliland's going to take a shot. Right side has a receiver that's Payne, and he had it in his hands, but it's dropped. They tried the Wildcat formation with the back on either side of Gilliland. Definitely seemed to confuse the defense enough to get Payne one-on-one on the outside, but couldn't quite bring that one in.
Yeah, you can't really be mad at that one.
Not at all.
Having a running back throw an absolute strike, and it was a little high, but a really good throw and good call too. I like that.
Without a doubt, Gilliland throwing one of the prettiest balls we've seen so far tonight, especially in this wind.
Because like you said, look at the cushion we see right here. That's like 10 yards.
Honestly, that's pretty close for Weatherford, especially that inside corner.
Yeah.
Melton in motion from left to right, and there's flags. I think somebody jumped early. That's going to push him back 5. So 2nd and 10 will turn into 2nd and 15 from the Weatherford 34. Clock stops at 10:39 left to go here in the second.
Yeah, probably just a miscommunication with Gillen and their center. That can be tough when you have, quarterback switching in and out for a center. But I think they're going to stay with him being at quarterback.
Looks like it. It's working out. Might as well ride it while it's working out. Yeah, Jackson Payne still split out wide right at the top of your screen there. Gillen in the shotgun with Malaska behind him. And Malaska's going to get the quick pitch and try to cut out to the outside. Has a lane. Gets to about the 31, so that's a solid gain, only about 3 yards, but we'll take it. Sets us up with about a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, almost gets it to the original line of scrimmage where they started off at. Just a really good defensive play from Weatherford. So they're going to really need to, show up big. They're in scoring position. They need this.
Yeah, the pursuers for Weatherford really shut down, or really closed down, I should say. Payne back in at quarterback, looks like on this one, with 10 minutes and counting in the second quarter. 3rd and 12. 3 receiver set. Payne taking a shot right side, has his man caught. Escaping the tackles is Wyatt Geisler into the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos!
What a touchdown and what a read by Payne and what a call. They had the one-on-one on the outside, and that's kind of a fake slant. It's like a deeper zig. A zig is where you fake a slant, but you go back out to the outside. And that is, if you play Madden or NCAA, that route works 90% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And especially on a long 3rd down, right at the sticks, and, way to make a move and turn that first down into a touchdown. Wow.
Huge. I knew he was going to make the catch.
Yeah.
But, man, didn't know he was going to make, 3 defenders miss on his way in? So 9:51 left to go. Bethany takes a 6-0 lead. Griffin Tarrant out to kick the extra point. And they almost got a piece of it. The blocker came off the edge, but Tarrant sinks it. He's an accurate kicker, and he puts it in there. So 7-0, early lead for Bethany here in the second quarter. 9:51 to go. We'll take a quick break here. Bethany Football, Oklahoma Sports Network. Back in Weatherford, Oklahoma here for Bethany Broncos football. Taking on the Weatherford Eagles here in the first round of the 4A playoffs, and they get the first score here in what has been a tightly contested game so far. 55 and windy, and you can feel every bit of it. It's been hard to complete a pass, but the running game has been big for both sides, but not as big as it has been for Bethany, and not as big as it was as the completion from Jackson Payne to Wyatt Geisler for the touchdown to put us up 7-0 here.
Are we going to see one go through the uprights with the wind?
We might see it. Let's see. Denton Jaggers on the kickoff here. Line drive, powerful kick. It nearly did it. It looked like it could do it for just a moment.
If he had some height on it, that was gone.
Real impressive stuff. Definitely out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Weatherford will start with the ball once again on their own 20. Field position has definitely been something that's been a bit of a crux sometimes, something of a negative for the Broncos in previous games, especially against Blanchard and Tuttle. A lot of drives were Tuttle was set up especially with a lot of field position deep in Bethany territory, but not so for Weatherford tonight. A couple of drives where they started basically at midfield. Other than that, they've had a couple where they start way back at their own 20 or 30. They do a little bit of motion. Charlie Tolley's not fooled, though. He gets in and pulls him down behind the line.
Oh, that was
Jackson Dole, pardon me.
What?
Playing like Tolley. With those guys on either end, it's hard to get anything past them.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention the last series, so I noticed Wyatt Geisler and Malaska, they switch depending on where Nixon, number 88, goes.
Interesting.
And so they have Malaska keyed on him tonight, which is a good game plan.
Absolutely. It's working so far without a doubt. And that is Nixon split out wide at the top of your screen, 1-1 against Malaska. 2nd and 10, they're going to hand off up the middle, and he's just gobbled up by the Bethany defenders. Nothing doing on that one. Might even lost a couple. Hard to pick out any particular Bethany defender on that play. It was pretty much the entire defensive line in on that one.
Yeah. It's a really good run defensive stop right there. And like I said, in the pregame is that they're going to be really relying on this defensive line for Bethany, and they're showing up big time thus far.
So another big third down here, 3rd and 13 from their own 17 with 8:35 left to go. Malaska and Geisler swapping out on the field so that Malaska can line up with Nixon, but they hand off left side, has some running lane, and he picks up enough for the first. Huge carry for the Weatherford Eagles. Bethany just got boxed out in the middle, and we couldn't get around the edge to bring down Ty Short.
Yeah, those are one of those ones where, it's a good look for Weatherford. They're bringing Nixon on the, the short side, which they're keying on them running over there to either throw it or him blocking, and they just run away from it and pick up, a lot of yards. But I think there was a flag on the play.
Well, that might help us out here. Does look like Weatherford's backing up, so might not be such a positive result as we thought if you're a Weatherford Eagle fan. Instead, puts them back in a 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 now, with 8:19 on the clock. That's huge.
Very, very huge.
So once again, another pivotal 3rd down. Motion from left to right. He'll get it. I think that's Jet. And they meet him and pull him down. Nothing doing for the Weatherford Eagles on that one. Stone Chisholm handing off. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, kind of got pulled out of that series with the late flag. But, that's how football works. And, that's what they needed to get a stop, push back in their own end zone. Now they got to punt against the wind. So we could be seeing good field position.
That'd be really nice. Yeah, honestly, their punter has been pretty solid, though. Jake Crisp, number 7. Somebody I've seen get in on some offensive plays as a running back and sort of split end wide receiver, whatever the heck they call it in their system. Everybody kind of does everything. It's a good punt. It's high, but the wind definitely taking it a little bit. Good catch by Geisler.
Yeah, that was tough.
At the 47. That's a hard one to make without a doubt. But Bethany will get field position in Weatherford territory to start this drive here. 7:33 left to go in the second.
Yeah, so this is a series where they can, they're up in the game, and it's almost halftime where you can just not necessarily chew clock, but take your time and establish the run game. Or you could be aggressive.
I'd love to see that. And you could even trick them into thinking that you're doing just a little run game up the middle, just chew a little clock and then hit them with something deep over the middle.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be over the middle, though, does it?
Could be anywhere.
Be down the left, be down the right.
It could even be backwards.
Maybe. They've got Gillen in there in that Wildcat formation, and they're going to run him straight up the middle, making people miss enough for the first down, and it takes about 3 or 4 Eagles before they can finally stop him, but he's all the way down to the 34. Knocking on the door early already.
I really like that set, that little Wildcat set with the 2 running backs with Gillen as well, and he pushed the little B button on the Xbox controller with the little spin to pick up 5.
No doubt, man. Did a little right analog stick before that with the juke, too. It's a good call by the coach to keep this going while it's working. Gillen still the man behind center. Melton out to his right. Jackson Payne split out wide at the bottom of your screen. Geisler as the slot guy next to him. Gillen's going to take it right side, has blockers and a lot of running room inside the 20 down to the 15 and tackled a little bit out of bounds, a little late, but we don't call that. We're just up here on the press box.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of confusion on the Weatherford side. I've seen, some of the coaches throwing up their hands. And when you're rushing 3 and so they're doing a 3-3 stack. So when you have 3 linebackers, there's a lot of communication that needs to happen. And Bethany's taking advantage of that. Run the ball on a 3-3 stack. That is what they need to do.
See, and that was something I couldn't tell if it was a 3-3-5 or they were doing a 4-6 defense, like old Buddy Ryan type. 6:40 left on the clock, 1st and 10 from the 16 of the Eagles here. Jackson Payne back in at quarterback with Gillen out to his right, but they direct snap it to Gillen, following Payne and others as blockers, and he gets all the way down to about the 9-yard line.
I like this take. Keep it on the ground. Give it to Gillen.
And it's working, and you fool the defense putting Payne back in there behind center thinking maybe they'll take a shot.
Yeah.
Nope. Gillen again. Run it down your throats.
That's kind of funny that Payne was right there for a blocker.
Man, he threw it. He's doing it, man. Love to see that. He's a senior. This might be his last hurrah. Let's do it, bud. 7-0 lead, though, for the Broncos. 6 minutes exactly on the clock, but it's running. 2nd and 2 from the Weatherford 9. 2 receivers stacked on top of each other. That's Geisler and Malaska, but we've got a timeout.
That's a good timeout
from the Weatherford Eagles with 5:51 to go. 2nd and 2 on the Weatherford 9. We'll be back here to second. Bethany Broncos football, Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This is Friday Night Football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma, Bethany Broncos football taking on the Weatherford Eagles here in the first round of the 4A playoffs. And Bethany knocking on the door, looking for their second touchdown of the first half here with 5:51 to go. 2nd and 2 from the Weatherford 9. I formation. Handoff. Gillen, he's the fullback. He's got enough for the first. He's inside the 5, and it takes about 3 or 4 Eagles to pull him down per the usual. But he gets a new set of downs. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Broncos now from the Weatherford 4-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good pickup of the first down because now you got 4 plays on the 4-yard line.
Love it.
Which is really good odds.
Big time, big time. Great play calling by our guys tonight.
Yeah. No shyness at all.
At all. Coming at you. Coming straight down for you. Or I can't get any good prepositions.
Oh, we're having fun, folks.
Right, we're absolutely having fun. But we're coming at you. Coming right down the middle. Gilliland gets it right down the middle on the direct snap. They came right for his ankles, about 3 tacklers. Lowers his head, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and honestly, that's not bad considering how that one blew up.
Yeah, and they're really, keying on. That's why they took the timeout, is to, let them know that they need to key in on Gilliland for sure and start stunning some of those linebackers, and that's exactly what happened.
It sort of seems no matter what the formation is, Gilliland is a guy to worry about. To start the play, to end the play, whatever.
Yeah, you might see some movement here. Try to get somebody looking.
2nd and goal from the 5. 1-yard loss from Gilliland on the previous play. They'll stick with the I formation. Payne's going to throw it this time. He's under a lot of pressure from C.J. Nixon, but he gets the ball out across the goal line. It's a touchdown for the Broncos!
Now that is an athletic play right there. They were trying to fake it to the left side to get him on the outside to throw it to where he was. I think that was that Breck Brady that caught that pass?
I think it was. It was hard to see, but it looked like it.
Yeah,
that kind of physicality to get across the goal line like that, it had to be.
But, he was backed up getting tackled and made a really good throw. That's going to be on his huddle for sure.
Huge touchdown, man. And to do that over C.J. Nixon staring you in the face, that'll go on the column, I guess, as a QB hurry. But I don't know. Does it go in the column as that if it ends up in a touchdown?
A what?
A QB hurry. A QB. He rushed the quarterback. Nixon.
Oh, I've never heard a hurry, but I don't think so. If he goes down, I think so. I'm not too sure, though.
But Griffin Tarrant hits the extra point, makes it 14-0. Bethany Broncos with 4:28 left to go in the second quarter. We'll be back with more Broncos football here on Oklahoma Sports Network.
This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma for the Bethany Broncos football in 4A. Goodness gracious, first round of the 4A playoffs. Bethany Broncos football taking on the Weatherford Eagles here in Weatherford, Oklahoma on Oklahoma Sports Network. Bethany ahead 14-0. 2 early Jackson Payne passing touchdowns have put the Broncos on top in a windy, little bit chilly autumn night here in western Oklahoma. And Denton Jaggers once again with that iron leg boots a kickoff so deep we almost thought it was going to go through the uprights again.
I thought he had it.
I think he wants it as bad as we want it for him.
Yeah.
So going to set up the Weatherford Eagles once again with field position on their own 20.
So do you think we're gonna see a different game plan? So this far we've seen, not the best attack from Weatherford. Are they gonna try and air it out? We haven't really seen them throw the ball.
It's something that they could potentially do, but it's not something that they've really predicated their offensive attack on for sure.
Yeah.
And indeed they will do it, though. He's under pressure from Tolley, gets the ball off anyways, and that's the first catch of the night we've seen for Nixon, the big 4-star recruit. He's got a lot of room down the right side of the field. They can't bring him down. C.J. Nixon. My goodness, there is a reason he's a big recruit. He goes basically the length of the field, 80 yards for a score. That'll suck the momentum right out from underneath you. My goodness.
And it almost looked like he stepped out of bounds, but and it's something Payne's pointing to as well, but I don't think they caught it. But that was 4 or 5 missed tackles, and that's, arm tackling a 4-star, a guy of that caliber is not going to work in a deep playoff game.
Yeah, he looks about as strong as he is fast. I can't believe a guy his size can move that quickly.
He's got his hands on his knees. He doesn't look like he's in shape.
Oh,
he did just run 70 yards.
Right. Well, and they'll get him in shape in Norman, I think. They've got a pretty good conditioning program down there. Extra point is good. Makes it 14. No, extra point is no good, pardon me. So 14-6. Bethany will have an 8-point lead carrying into the end of the second quarter here. 4:12 left on the clock, and we'll go ahead and take a break here on Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back here on Oklahoma Sports Network for the Bethany Broncos taking on the Weatherford Eagles in the first round of the 4A playoffs. It's been a heck of a game so far. Bethany jumping out to a 14-0 lead, but four-star recruit and OU commit CJ Nixon going 80 yards for a touchdown. So Weatherford answering on the board now, but the missed extra point makes it 14-6 with 4:12 left to go in the second. Whistles blow before the kick, and it looks like they were going to try a little tricky squib kind of onside look there.
Yeah, those are called deep onsides, and the reason when you see teams do that, they don't want to get it back here so they have a chance to return it for big. But the plus side, you get really good field position when you do that.
Well, and you also, I guess you run the risk potentially on the return team of dropping that ball and giving it to the kick team, and so that's probably exactly why they go for that.
But it is going to scoot them back after that penalty.
They'll be kicking off now from the 35 instead of the 40. And with this wind blowing at you, something like that definitely matters.
Yep.
AC/DC's Thunder playing on the loudspeaker, but thankfully no thunder tonight. Just a big, bright, full moon in the sky and a lot of wind. 4:12 left to go as we get set for the kickoff here from the 35 now. Somehow that ball staying on the tee. Another short onside. Fair caught by Brock Cross at the 39-yard line. Decent field position to start with.
Yeah, and another way you can tell a team is fine-tuned as Bethany is they've got that secondary, and every time it's a fair catch, you see about 6 guys raise their hand for fair catch, so there's no chance the refs are not going to see that.
That is important. Just notice the drum major down here for Weatherford has her own mic and speaker set up.
Yeah, I was wondering whose voice that was.
That's the drum major down there. She's killing it.
It's kind of a cool beat.
Due credit where credit is due. Weatherford band very tight. You know, this is Soulja Boy.
Is it?
Yes.
There we go. Come on.
Soulja Boy, tell him. Bye, Soulja Boy, I believe is officially the credit. Bethany, good field position to start with. Jackson Payne in the shotgun here from his own 39. Going to give it to Geisler on a little tricky play, but Weatherford not fooled. Pulls him down about a yard behind the line there.
Yeah, not a bad look. Just trying to get Geisler out wide. And that's one of those ones where you don't want, kind of that option out to the outside to cut back in. I know he kind of had to, but you want to keep it outside as much as you can.
Yeah, he thought he saw a lane up the middle, but all that was there was ankle tackles.
Yeah.
Still seeing a lot of cushion by Weatherford, not 10 yards, but at least 5. 4 wideouts. Geisler motioning from left to right, back to left. Payne's going to take a shot, looking. Geisler over the middle, caught across the 50, inside the 45 to the 43. Another huge play by Geisler. Payne, man,
what a
clutch tonight.
Yeah, that was really good for him to just sit back in the pocket. Great time by the lineman to give him time to read the field. And it was another one of those plays where he fakes the corner, made a really good move towards the boundary, and cut back into a skinny post. And that's really good to get open there, and that Payne found him.
Really impressed with Bethany's passing offense tonight. It's not exactly been a weakness for them, but it has not looked quite as bright as it has tonight. 1st and 10 now from the Weatherford 42, clock at 2:59 and counting. Payne takes a snap, fakes to Gillen, out left to Malaska. He's dancing and juking and gets hit hard from the back, but he picked up about 6 or 7 first.
Yeah, that was a really good play, just trying to get something quick on the outside, get some positive yards, just keep that clock running. And impressively, that was Nixon that made the tackle. The guy on the line made a tackle out wide.
I mean, we know that he's got jets.
Yeah.
He can get outside. So looking at a 2nd and 1, it was actually a pickup of 9 by Malaska. 2nd and 1 from the 33 of the
I
Eagles.
saw it.
Play blown dead as there's some illegal motion, a false start prior to the play starting. So that'll move Bethany back 5.
Yeah, it was on our center, Sailor. Was that correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ben Saylor, number 65.
He kind of budged his butt a little bit. He was ready to snap it.
You know, he's just ready to keep this offensive success going in this big first-round playoff matchup. Playoff appearances have been many for the Broncos.
Oh, it was on them.
Under coach's tenure. Oh, interesting. It's actually going to be offsides.
Wow.
Neutral zone infraction, as they did or did not call it. Home fans don't like that.
And another thing to point out, too, that it's kind of a good thing that it's a good thing that Nixon is lined up in the middle, kind of nose guard, because he's right in front of Ben Saylor, which is our best lineman.
Saylor's the guy that can take him on without a doubt.
That's kind of the best scenario you'd want out of that.
So 1st and 10 now for the Broncos from the Weatherford 28. 2:16 and counting on the clock. Payne alone in the shotgun. Goes to the hard count. Defense not fooled. Gillen split out as a sort of H-back tight end to his right. Breck Brady and Garrett Johnson out to his left. Malaska, the receiver, split out wide on the top right of your screen, but Geisler is the one he throws to deep. Hits him in the hands, but incomplete. Jet was there for the tackle, or for the hit, I should say, for Weatherford. Breaks up a potentially big play for the Bethany Broncos. Jackson Payne to Wyatt Geisler has been a hot connection tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad throw, but Weatherford sent the house. There was nobody left in the center of the field. They sent absolutely everybody. Everybody picked up a block, but that leaves open 2 people. And those 2 people hit Payne as he threw. So
Payne standing in there making another tough throw, though. Guy just really showing out as a competitor tonight. They're going to go back to that Wildcat set, though. Gillen back in as the man behind center in the shotgun. And play is blown dead. More flags. Who's this one on? Offsides? No. Delay of game on the Broncos.
And I mentioned it in last week's game at Bethany. They have the clock set at 40 seconds. And you remember I was saying that I thought it was supposed to be 25. So here it's 25.
Interesting.
So I don't know.
Maybe they shorten the play clock in playoffs?
I don't know.
Man, we gotta look up these rules, y'all. We're working on getting you that information. That's what you're supposed to say, Brendan. You never say you don't know. You just say you're working. We're currently working on getting that information for you. 2nd and 15. Minute 50 on the clock and counting. And we got flags and whistles blowing this one dead again. And this time it is a false start. So a 2nd and 15 turns into a 2nd and 20 now.
2 back-to-back penalties is something you don't want, especially when you're trying to call a play. You keep backing up, you got to switch it.
Yep, can't let the defense key in on what you're doing with the pre-snap reads. 1:50 to go, 2nd and 20. They motion Gillen out, but Geisler's going to be the one who catches it again. Inside the 20, down to the 10, sets him up with 1st and goal. Another huge play by Wyatt Geisler.
These are the kind of connections you really want to see, especially in playoff time. And a really good call to have that bunch set on the outside and Gillen in motion that brought down that safety that was playing down in that corner, brought him down in wide open Geisler. Great call. And great throw by Payne. He also got hit as well.
Payne really showing out, man. Looking like a I don't know if Payne has any offers or any commits or anything, but
we're working on it.
Right, we're working on getting that information for you. We really will look that up at halftime, make sure. But Gillen's in at the quarterback here. He's going to take a direct snap, juking around the middle, trying to find some running room. Picked up maybe a yard, pretty much just got back to the line of scrimmage. Now we got 40 on the play clock. That's the darndest thing, man. I don't even know.
So maybe that's not our fault for not knowing the information.
Are they trying to take some time off for the away squad just for funsies? Weirdness. Second and goal from the 9 coming up for the Broncos. 48 seconds and counting. They're taking their time. They don't want to give Weatherford another chance here before we go to halftime. Payne back in at quarterback. Gillen out right in the shotgun next to him. 4 receivers. Payne going to take a shot, and he took a shot on the play. Hit again. Hard, but he gets back up and shakes it off. Pass incomplete. Intended for, I think, Geisler over the middle right side.
Yeah, those are one of those ones where it's tough on the left or right tackle. They have, that 3-and-3 that I've been talking about, but the guy off the edge is tough to cover when they're sending an extra guy, and that's who smoked Payne.
So Weatherford taking a timeout. We'll take one as well. Bethany Broncos, Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number. You're part of the family.
This is a presentation of the
Back here in
Oklahoma
Weatherford,
Sports Network.
Oklahoma for Bethany Broncos taking on the Weatherford Eagles in the first round of the 4A playoffs here on Oklahoma Sports Network. It's been a tightly contested game. Bethany coming out to a 14-0 lead before C.J. Nixon, the 4-star recruit, wide receiver and defensive end for the Weatherford Eagles, went 80 yards for a touchdown. But now Bethany driving, looking at a 3rd and goal. 30 seconds remaining. Payne in the shotgun. Takes a shot, right side, has his man caught. Didn't get in the end zone, though. Held just short. Is that Geisler again?
That was Geisler again, and
My
it was
goodness.
a really good throw by Payne. It was almost double coveraged, just a little out route towards the pylon. He kind of threaded the needle there, and he extended the ball, and I thought he got that in, but tough in high school to make the difference.
So close. Seeing some conferencing there on the Bethany sideline, trying to decide if we're going to keep the offense out or try out the field goal team for 3. Looks like they're going to call a timeout with about a second left to burn.
Smart. Very smart.
Absolutely. 2.6 seconds on the clock. Coach calls a timeout. So they'll think about it here. You'd like to say they'll probably send the field goal team out, take the 2-score lead.
And that's,
but could make it interesting.
That's probable, but, they've got a yard to go, and that's, you got Gillen.
You can make that yard. You got not just Gillen, but you got Ben Saylor, who has looked really nice in the trenches against C.J. Nixon tonight.
I say you put Gillen under center and do a little tush-push.
I'm a fan. I'd like to see it. So it's been a hotly contested one. We thought with the wind and the little bit of chilliness and just the overall skill sets and talent sets of both teams that we'd see a lot of running tonight, or a lot of running the ball. We have seen a lot of running the ball, but the thing that's really been successful for both squads has been airing it out.
Yeah.
Surprising, given that this wind is not fun for us to contend with up here. Can't be fun for them to contend with down there.
And it looks like they are going to keep him out there.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks like the offense coming back out. I do not see Griffin Tarrant and the kick team.
nor do we see Payne.
So 4th and goal from the 1. Broncos leave the offense in. Gilliland is in the shotgun behind center. It's the tight set where they often direct snap him up the middle.
Timeout.
Wouldn't you know it, Weatherford's going to take a timeout. So we'll take a little timeout ourselves, here, Bethany Broncos football on Oklahoma Sports Network. Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma, for the Bethany Broncos taking on the Weatherford Eagles, first round of the 4A playoffs. Oklahoma Sports Network. Broncos looking at a 4th and goal from the Weatherford 1, and they've got the offense still out there with this 14-7 lead. Gilliland in the shotgun getting ready for the direct snap. Everybody knows what's coming, and they can't stop it. He's right up the middle for the touchdown.
Why not? Why not give it to Gillen, the stud?
I haven't seen anyone stop that
No.
yet this season. With the amount of blockers we've got up front, Devontae Melton is the H-back on the left side. They haven't been able to stop that all year.
No.
I think we scored with that on Tuttle, for heck's sake.
And you got to give kudos to the coach, too, because, most coaches, and especially probably college and, NFL level, they go for the 3 points, move on, let's go to half. But, no. Stay aggressive in the playoffs. I like it.
I think the risk reward is really about the same, too, with this wind.
Yeah.
It can be hard to make a kick. But Griffin Tarrant, 3 for 3 tonight, makes it 21-6 as we come to the close of the first half, and it's been a really good one for the Broncos. 21-6 is the score after 3 beautiful touchdowns. We'll take a little hot chocolate break here, halftime, warm up our noses, and then we'll come back for the second half. Weatherford versus Bethany, Oklahoma Sports Network. Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma for the second half here on Oklahoma Sports Network. Bethany Broncos up 21-6 against the Weatherford Eagles, getting set to kick off here. Wind is picking up, but the temperature might have reduced, to be honest. Another
kicker.
line drive kick, but this time it's not Jaggers. I think that's Calderon.
Yes.
Still, same result, though. Great line drive kick, flies out of the back of the end zone. And the Weatherford Eagles, once again, will be looking at a 1st and 10 from their own 20. So far tonight, obviously the 21 points on the board haven't been scored by the defense, but defensive unit, maybe the clutch unit of the night so far, taking this multi-headed sort of hydra of an offense that is the Weatherford Eagles and really not allowing them to do anything.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep this momentum.
We'll see what they can do here. 1st and 10 from the 20. They're going to try to pass it, but that quarterback's been under pressure all game, and he's under pressure again. Sacked way behind the line by your own Judson Gilliland.
Yeah, really good sack and putting pressure on him coming from behind. And also really good coverage by Alaska. He was covering up their star Nixon that we've said a lot tonight, and he tried to do a little comeback for a 1st down, but great defensive coverage by Alaska.
Other than a very exciting 80-yard score by the Eagles, Nixon has really been pretty locked up on the offensive side of the ball. 2nd and 10 here. Handoff left side, or pardon me, 2nd and about 18. Handoff, and he's eaten up very quickly by this Bethany defense. That's Skinner, number 22, Cashin Skinner, taking the handoff from Stone Chisholm, maybe picking up a yard. So it sets up Weatherford early on here in the second half with a 3rd and very long.
Yeah, and you could imagine that they might go for Nixon right here, just like they did that last time for their 80-yard touchdown.
So it's 3rd and 17, 10:45 and running on the clock in the 3rd quarter. They're going to hand it off to Skinner. It looked like he thought about throwing it for a moment. Has some room, zips up the middle, but he's taken down short of the 1st down. Brings up about a 4th and 9. Really, really good defensive drive by the Broncos. Judson Gilliland's sack put him so far behind, or so far in such a deep hole, they couldn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, it was a really good stop by the defense, and like you said, Gilliland gave them a chance to, put some pressure on him, and just like they did, make a stop on 3rd down. So that they'll be kicking against the wind, so, we could see some good field position for sure.
Boy, that would be nice. Another score could really ice it for the Broncos here. That sort of rollout rugby-style kick, good kick into the wind, and takes a bounce for the Eagles to the Bethany 45.
That's a really good kick.
Really solid. Thought that maybe it was a live ball since it touched the kicking team. Maybe not. So, Bethany going to get set up with a 1st and 10 from their own 45. We thought that the offense would succeed if they were able to get the run game going and then maybe go over the top. The run game, while consistent, has not been explosive. It's been the passing offense that scored 2 out of 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah.
And Wyatt Geisler has been a big reason for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's having a great game, running great routes, and you also got to contribute to Payne, keeping his eyes open. He's taken some few big shots in the backfield, so kudos to him.
Made some really difficult throws tonight, Jackson Payne. So he's going to start with the ball here in the pistol. Gilliland behind him, and Gilliland's going to get the call up the middle for about 2 before he's met with resistance and goes down.
Yeah, being up in the starting the second half, being up in the game, you definitely want to establish your run game early so that's something you can go back on, and you know they can pass the football, but
always good to be able to lean back on that run game for sure, especially when you've got a lead and you want to run some clock.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that they need to fight with for sure, is running some of that clock out.
Keep that defense tired. Gilliland in the shotgun behind the center on 2nd and 8. Rolling out to his right, thought about throwing, but pulls it down and runs. Picks up about 4 or 5. Solid gain from Gilliland.
Yeah, not a bad gain. He definitely didn't seem as aggressive as he was in the first half, but, just being patient and, trying not to get hurt, just pick up some positive downs.
Hey, you should know how I mean, I guess the NCAA players are finding out these days if you hit that sprint button before your blockers really get there, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be patient. Just follow your blockers in front of you. 3rd and 4, 8:40 to go. Jackson Payne trying with the hard count to see if he can pull anybody off sides.
Almost did.
He almost did. He's good at that. Devontae Melton right behind him. Melton gets the fake handoff. Payne still has the ball, though.
Oh.
Looked like he might have got enough for the first. Flags out at the end of the play. Looks like we may have some extracurriculars as we've got Bethany coaches rushing out to quell the commotion.
2 good things right there. Really good move by Payne. Almost had a sack. Looks like he picked up the first down. But then good thing for Bethany's offense to back up Payne after being thrown down.
They're not going to let their quarterback get mistreated.
I like that a lot. That's how you know they have a tight relationship, the whole team.
So flags were down. I don't see any calls. Looks like some of the officials still discussing things. The Weatherford coaches waiting for the call as anxiously as we all are. Not sure if that would be unnecessary roughness. They're going to call a personal foul against Weatherford. So that'll be 15 yards. My goodness.
Yeah, doesn't seem like Weatherford fans are too happy about that, but it was very blatant and everybody could see it.
Well, it's hard to tell over the wind. I think our fans are pretty happy about it, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear some screams from that side. So that's going to set the Broncos up now with 1st and 10 on the Weatherford 29. 8:23 left to go in the third with their 21-6 lead. And you don't want to say that it would put something away here this early with this much game left to play, but a score here could almost ice it. Gillen's going to get the call up the middle for about 4. Running that clock, tiring out that defense, making them know that you can run it down their throat at any time.
Yeah, definitely going to be using up some of the clock and giving Gillen some touches.
He has not been perhaps the most impactful player on the offensive side of the ball. That has to go to Payne or Geisler tonight, but boy, he's been close. He's going to get a chance to play quarterback, so to speak, here again. He's getting the direct snap, following Melton and his other blockers, but the holes disappear pretty quickly. Picked up about a yard, and it was a tough yard, too.
Yeah, it wasn't really anywhere to go. Weatherford did a great job stopping that right there, even though they had a lot of blockers right there picking up some good blocks, but another really important third down in scoring position.
Keep getting distracted by the drum major calling out the songs to the Weatherford band. I'm excited to see what they do this time, playing all the hits down there. I don't want to be mean, but tonight so far the band for Weatherford has been a little bit tighter than their football team. 3rd and 5 here for the Broncos. Payne rolling to his left, throwing, has Geisler, caught, out of bounds inside the 15. Wyatt Geisler all night tonight doing his best Wes Welker impression and doing it pretty darn well.
Yeah, I like that comparison. Wes Welker, they move the same.
They do.
Really short and quick, and he's got some really good touches today for sure, and a good pass by Payne to pick up the first down. Really, really important.
Clean route running, good footwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And impressive that you're throwing the ball with wind and it's cold.
You know where Wes Welker plays high school ball?
No.
Heritage Hall, baby.
Oh, did he really?
Oklahoma City. That's
Oh,
our
no.
guy. Oh, and the snap is fumbled. Gilliland drops the snap, and it's recovered by Weatherford. Oh, no. That is a huge shift in momentum. That'll really turn the tides. The Broncos pressing, nearing a score that could put the nail in the coffin, and instead Gilliland ends up coughing it up.
Yeah, he was trying to run the ball before he caught it, and, that's just tough. But those are one of the mistakes that you kind of really got to, shrug off your shoulder and forget about. You got to have a quick memory because this can be a really good drive for Weatherford playing with the momentum that they have now.
Boy, what a shame. We almost missed that one. I was too bad telling one of my favorite fun facts.
Yeah. Hey, cool.
Wes Welker
fact.
is
I like that.
Oklahoman's own.
My home team is playing Heritage Hall tonight.
Oh, that's a big
Playoffs.
one.
Yep.
That's a big one. You guys will probably lose.
Yeah, they're losing right now.
But bummer, we're big turnover, and now they take a shot down the field
Out of bounds.
Pass was complete, but out of bounds, so that will not count. That's the rules.
So that was one of the first times we've seen their quarterback really, push it down the field like with a, a
Really
deep
take
ball.
a shot, yeah.
Yeah, showed off the arm. It was a good throw, just a little bit out of bounds.
I had a makeshift water bottle holder here on top of the press box, and it failed me. But I did not litter. We worked it out. 2nd and 10 for Weatherford from their own 14. 6:36 left to go. Clock stopped after the incompletion. They'll hand it off right side to Ty Short. Picks up maybe a yard. Bethany's defense was there quickly.
Yeah, it's cool to see Brock Cross get in the mix right there. Little safety action. You always like that.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everybody on Bethany get involved on that defense. Clearly a lot of pregame preparation by this squad really paying off, because it seems like every play, everyone knows their assignment and everyone's getting there.
Yeah, even Seth Griner was out there at corner getting some touches.
That rotation, that depth is important.
Yeah.
So big time 3rd and 9 here from their own 15. They're going to hand it off to Jed on the left side. He's got a lot of blockers, but they're not going to do him any good. He's pulled down behind the line of scrimmage.
Man, Breck Brady was sniffing him out that whole time. He was just right there, and then right when he cut back, kabang.
The pursuit, again, has been stellar all night, and it is yet again looking like trouble when the momentum shifted back to Weatherford's side after a big fumble, but they can't do anything with it. 3 and out, they ended up moving backwards 3 yards on that drive, Brendan.
Yeah, Bethany's defense is looking really good so far, bailing Bethany's offense out after making a mistake.
So it'll be another punt by Weatherford. They've got a good punter, though. And the pass or the kick is muffed. Geisler made a big catch earlier on a punt return. Does look like Bethany covers that, so we can let out a sigh of relief. But, man, Butterfingers have started to become a problem, and we do have a player down.
Looks like Cross is holding his back.
For Bethany, no, I think that's actually Jagger Weaver.
Yeah,
Jagger Weaver and Brock Cross a little slow to get up.
They'll be all right.
Will walk off of their own volition, though, so nothing serious enough to require attention on the field, so that's good. But it does look like they are feeling a little sore. It's been a tough game, though. We've seen a lot of hard hits from both defenses.
And especially,
it is definitely a playoff game.
And especially being a little colder, those little hits that didn't hurt early in the year kind of really sting now.
Oh, yeah. And even, those hits in the first half are probably starting to catch up with you now.
Your helmet gets a little harder. The pads inside stiffen up.
Man. Yeah, does that adrenaline help keep the pain off until the next day or the evening?
No, you just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
You got to.
Go. That's the separates the winners and the losers, right?
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 from from Weatherford's 44. Hand off to Gilliland. Has a running lane on the right side. Stiff arms a defender on his way out of bounds. Picks up about 7 on the play with authority.
And you know what I called him our first broadcast? It was, I can never remember his name, but Captain America's best friend with the steel arm.
Oh, yeah. Winter Soldier.
Winter
Bucky.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that steel arm.
Can't get through that, man. He really just shoveled him down. Derrick Henry would be proud. So sets him up with a 2nd and short now. 2nd and 4 from the Weatherford 38. Clock stopped at 4:59 after Gilliland goes out of bounds. Payne's back there alone. He's under pressure. Screen pass to Gilliland underneath. Has blockers. Showing off the arm again on his way to a first down.
He was mad on that one. He wanted to get the first and get another really big hit.
I think at this point he's kind of enjoying it a little bit, and I don't know if Weatherford is appreciating that he keeps doing that to them.
You don't want Gillen to heat up. Mm-hmm. But that's the first screen we've seen in quite a long time. I think they tried against Tuttle a couple times.
It doesn't usually work out, but that one was clean.
Yeah.
That one worked out really well. Payne's footwork was excellent, running backwards there. Looked like your boy calling up a car on the track at the car wash.
There you go.
It's all about footwork. Shout out to the day job. 4:25 left on the clock. 1st and 10. Ball hit the ground, it looked like, but Gillen picked it up and runs forward. Picks up about 4 or 5, gets inside the 30 to the 25.
Gillen brought his happy feet tonight. He's pressing the
Really
B button
did.
on the controller.
Absolutely.
A lot of spins.
Spins, jukes. Wouldn't be surprised if he hurdles someone tonight.
Probably, just like Saquon Barkley's
probably
backwards
not
hurdle.
backwards, I was going to say. Probably not backwards, but you never know.
And, Gillen kind of runs like Barkley, quick and choppy.
He really does, yeah.
Stiff.
Similar sort of scat back styles, surprising amount of strength and a sort of small frame. Gillen's all alone in the shotgun on this one.
Oh.
Melton is the H-back, and everybody flinched early on that one, but I think they're going to call it against Bethany.
Yeah, and that's the second time with Gillen in as quarterback they've gone false start. So they got to figure that out quick.
That different cadence is messing with him or something. Going to send him back from a 2nd and 7 now instead to a 2nd and 12 from the Bethany 30, or pardon me, from the Weatherford 30.
It is tough with the wind behind you blowing on your back. It makes a little kind of whistle noise in your helmet. So that could be something that's going on with the lineman. Gillen could be a little bit more quiet than Payne is. Just, a number of things could be going wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, C.J. Nixon has been pulled off the field for Weatherford. He's getting stretched for cramps on the sideline. So he is not currently in for the Eagles. Gilliland is, though. He's in the shotgun. He'll get the direct snap. Has some blocks, but he got tripped up pretty quickly. Makes the most of it, though. Squirts forward for about 6 or 7. As long as their best player is off the field, why not take advantage, run the ball straight up the middle at the hole that he creates with his absence?
Yeah, you need to, and I think they may, take advantage of that, but, we've seen a lot of third down throws from Payne. It's successful, so why not stay with that? And I think we might see that.
We've seen some accurate third down throws, some clutch throws from this guy tonight. Looking every bit of the senior that he is. 2:50 remaining on the clock here in the third quarter. 3rd and 6. Confusion at the line. It looked like the play was dead, but they kept it going.
That's
Referees
a touchdown.
Finally do whistle it dead, but there is a completion if it stands. And it's going to be a false start instead against Bethany.
I didn't see much movement.
I did not see
that was weird.
I definitely missed it if it was there. Definitely some confusion. It was like maybe they couldn't hear over the band or something. Really not sure, but it's going to walk them back now to a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, so that makes kind of, not an easy third down and medium to go, but now it makes it a harder third down.
And wipes a nice play call off the board.
Yeah.
Good
I like
fly
that
route.
set.
Was that Geisler down there?
No, that was Gillen that caught that.
Gillen, I thought so. Boy, showing off his hands. 3rd and 11, 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third. Bethany hanging on to this 21-6 lead, looking to stretch it. Under center is Payne. He's going to take the snap, roll to his right.
Give it to him.
Looking, ball is tipped. Otherwise, he had Geisler open.
Yeah, really,
Man, big defensive play.
Yeah, really good play call. I like the under center, kind of fake left and let him roll out. That's kind of an old school NFL thing. And they had the comeback with, I think it was Geisler again, right at the sticks. And that's just one of those ones where you want your quarterback to, let it go. It's right there, but just a little late, but that's all right.
They got lucky, a little bit of contact
Yeah.
on Payne's release from the Eagles. Somebody tipped that ball. Payne nearly caught his own pass. You see that happen.
And we might see Gillen I didn't see Payne still at quarterback.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. 4th and 11. They keep the offense out there at the Weatherford 29. Payne with a weak fake handoff, and then over the middle has his man complete. Is that Seth Griner?
Yes, sir.
What a catch by Griner.
I like to see that.
First time we've seen him get involved. Well, at least first time we've seen him pull it down. He's had a couple of drops.
Yeah.
But that'll make up for it nicely right there.
Phil, we're seeing some really, really confident and structured play calling so far. That was one of those crossing routes, kind of meshing, the inside guy goes to the out, the outside guy goes to in, and you let your quarterback just read the safety, and great eyes by Payne.
These boys did their homework, without a doubt. So 1st and 10 now from the Weatherford 12. Gilliland is going to be under center, and it's another false start. And it's the left tackle again.
That's the 3rd or 4th with Gillen at quarterback.
Where the left tackle has been the one that jumps. Brutal penalties. This has been the biggest thing holding back the Broncos. Has not been anything the Eagles are doing, but these false start penalties and a couple of, well, at least one delay of game calls.
And a man's biggest enemy sometimes can be himself, especially on a team. So really got to figure that out. That's really important to figure that out.
Henry David Thoreau of you, Brennan.
Thank you.
1st and 15, clock at 1:30 and running. Ball on the 11. Gilliland is going to get the carry around the right side. Flag is down. Might be a hold.
Yeah.
Bethany's going to keep on walking this one back.
I think they're going to give it to Devontae blocking on the outside.
Had to make that lane for his man, but
So
did it with a chunk of jersey.
So what is that? The last 2-3 plays, 20 yards of penalty?
That,
this drive
I
is
think
hurting
so.
them?
Golly, I mean, we get in scoring position, and then we're pushing ourselves out of it. The end of the marker is at the 3-yard line. So for a new set of downs, we got to get to the 3. The line of scrimmage is the 32.
Goodness gracious.
So that is setting us up with a 1st and 29. I mean, that's just ridiculous. 1st and 24
Yeah.
is what's on the scoreboard. Ball on the 27 of Weatherford. Are you kidding me? Another false start. We are not just shooting ourselves in the foot, we're blowing the thing off.
So that's going to back us even farther back.
What is happening? Oh, this is brutal, guys.
This is almost where you kind of got to call a timeout.
I
get
was
your
going to
guys
say,
set.
if I'm coach, I might just be calling a timeout just to talk with my guys, make sure our heads are straight.
Yeah.
My goodness, 1st and 30 or 1st and 29 now. Line of scrimmage at the Weatherford 32. For a 1st down, you got to get all the way down to the 3. Payne in the shotgun. Gilliland out to his left. Rolling left. Has a couple of men open, but he's going to throw a short route underneath to, I think that's Lane Johnson.
Yeah, only a couple
No,
yards.
that's Braxton Mullins, number 20. First time we've seen him get involved tonight.
Yeah, Geisler was open in the end zone, but
Payne just didn't want to take that chance, or maybe didn't see him.
He got some pressure. When you get pressure as a quarterback rolling out, you don't really, you kind of check
It's
down
hard
a
to
little
see
bit.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
which is a safe option.
Still, though, moves him a little bit closer to that 1st down. It's 2nd and 23. Clock at 25 seconds and counting down to the end of the 3rd quarter. We've had no scores so far. Payne hands off to Gilliland, who goes backwards and just throws it on the ground. That one blew up. Some of the fans wanting intentional grounding. But there's no pocket. I think that means you can't call it.
He was out of the pocket, and he threw it on the ground. Which it's a close call, but I don't think that's intentional grounding.
Yeah, and I think you could say even if there was technically a pocket, he was outside of it.
Yeah, he's outside, and you could say he was going for Payne because Payne was right there kind of. I think that's who they were trying to throw to, actually.
Basically threw it to the feet of Payne, but that play definitely blew up. Something of sort of a handoff to a Gilliland and then a screen pass back to Payne. Sets him up with 3rd and 23 at the 26. Payne in the shotgun. Taking a shot, right side, has a man, end zone. Nearly caught, flag down, might be pass interference.
Yeah, he got hit. He got hit early, so that has, they're calling it on Weatherford.
Finally, a flag benefits the Broncos on this drive. It's been all penalties in the other direction.
Yeah, so finally seen some positivity. And that's, out of multiple throws, that's, Payne's really getting pressure tonight. I mean, the line's not doing that bad of a job. They're doing well, but, with these stunts from the linebackers, it's tough to pick it up in high school. But Payne's doing really good, not forcing a sack or an interception, making sure he gets it down the field.
Now the Broncos will have a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 10 now, 3rd and maybe 11. Ball on the 13, almost the 14. 8.6 seconds on the clock. Just enough time maybe for Bethany to get off one longish play. Gillen motioning out to the right. Payne cutting back over the middle to, I think that's Mullins, and he's got enough for the 1st down. That's Seth Greiner on the catch.
Yeah, that's just like a little tunnel screen right there coming underneath, going towards the trip side. It's really good.
The play calling,
yes.
Brendan. Chef's kiss. The play calling tonight. That'll take us to the end of the 3rd. Bethany set up with 1st and goal from the 1 when we come back with the 4th quarter for you. So we will be back shortly here on Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back here in windy Weatherford to see the Bethany Broncos take on the Weatherford Eagles here in the first round of the 4A playoffs here on Oklahoma Sports Network. Bethany looking at first and goal from the 1. Shotgun set tight with Gilliland. Direct snap up the middle, and he got it. Touchdown, Bethany Broncos! Judson Gilliland in for his second. Just like that, Brendan.
Just like that, a touchdown.
Like that.
After a very, very frustrating drive and almost unpromising, you think you'd either have to go for a field goal because they got pushed back so much after those penalties. Goodness gracious. They pull it. Really good calls from our offensive coordinator and our head coach.
Yeah, the coaching staff has been lights out tonight. All credit where credit is due. Griffin Tarrant, 3 for 3 on extra points tonight so far. Kicking into the wind, and he'll make it 4 for 4. So Bethany Broncos ahead 28-6 here to start the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more Bethany Broncos football here on Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma, to the Bethany Broncos taking on the Weatherford Eagles in the first round of the 4A playoffs here on Oklahoma Sports Network. And Brendan, it's kind of looking like we're going on to the next round. Don't want to speak too early. We still got a full quarter to play, 11:56 on the clock here left to go in the fourth, but momentum-wise, on the field, off the field in terms of mentality, toughness, etc., Bethany's succeeded in all facets of the game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. There still is a lot of, play left in this ball game, but the momentum is looking for Bethany's side for sure.
Calderon's still out there as the kicker, and they try an onside her, and Bethany's going to get it. Flag is down, but I think the ball traveled the requisite yardage.
It was, but I don't know what the penalty is going to be for, though.
Interesting turn of events. Weatherford band down here rocking out. I don't know if they know what happened. Honestly, with the officials deliberating, I don't know if they know either yet.
Yeah, this should be Bethany's ball for sure.
Everything about that looked like a successful onside kick.
He kicked that really high.
He kicked it real up
goodness.
there. But the ball traveling at least 10, if not maybe 15 yards.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who touches it first if it goes far enough. Unless, of course, there is another Oklahoma high school rule that we're unfamiliar with. But
Because I don't think they have to make contact first.
No.
It shouldn't be.
No, once it passes the 10, 15-yard window, whatever it is, usually 10, that should make it anybody's ball.
Yeah,
the only thing is I think you can't pick it up and move with it.
You
if
should be
the
able to.
return team doesn't touch it. Oh, you can still pick it up? I thought it was dead ball right there. A lot of deliberating, and they're going to give the ball to
Yeah, they're going to give it to Weatherford.
Weatherford, it looks like.
They called it on the kicking team, but I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, they're not announcing it, so it's difficult to really bring to you exactly what the call is.
And that penalty moves them into scoring position.
Yeah, from where we're sitting, it looked like Bethany kick catch interference is what I'm hearing from the PA announcer. Interesting call. We'll leave it at that.
Well,
interesting call. 11:53 left to go. Weatherford's going to take over at the Bethany 43. They're going to take a deep shot. Drops back, but he gets thrown down by Charlie Tolley. No, sir. Big loss. 12 yards on the sack. Yep. Tolley's amped up, and so is the sideline, and so is the away support.
Yeah, great pressure. They really needed that because they ran a quick post route, and I don't think Payne picked that up, nor did the guy covering. I can't see. I think it's Geisler, or I can't see the number for sure, but he was wide open, but Tolley bailed him out for sure.
Geisler is the man there on the far side of the sideline, or on the far side of the field. 2nd and 20. They're going to try a quarterback run up the middle.
That's
and he's
Tolley
taken down with authority by Tolley at midfield. Picked up and thrown down sort of WWE style. And Stone Chisholm is really trying to put things on his back and do something for these guys, and it's just not working out. That guy is trying, though. Chisholm, one of the leading rushers of the team, along with guys like Ty Scott and Cashin Skinner. But they've been bottled up tonight. 3rd and 16, 10:35 remaining in the game. Rolling out to his left. Pass deflected by Malaska with authority. He's not letting anything happen. Whistles. Is there a flag?
No, they're not going to give the interception to Payne, but he had his feet
Oh, it was an interception?
Yeah, so
my goodness.
Geisler tipped it up. Great break on the ball. It went up, and it was still in bounds, and Payne toe touched it, but they're going to call him out of bounds.
You mean Malaska deflected it?
Malaska,
right?
what did I say?
Geisler. I was going to say, how do you do that from the other side of the field?
Yeah, no.
He's athletic, but let's not give him too much credit.
And Geisler, or Malaska, still showing off his athleticism against their star.
Nixon back in?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
They were trying to go to Nixon right there at the sticks.
They were stretching him out for cramps. He's back in now, but it's 4th and 16. 10:28 left to go in the game. They need this one if they can stay in it. And it's right over the middle, more to Judson Gilliland than any Weatherford player. And man, still 10 minutes left to go, but this one is looking increasingly like Bethany could pull this one off.
Yeah, they were trying to go to Nixon once again on a little slant route, kind of crossing over the middle, but he threw it too high. And the route running from Nixon was a little slow. He kind of didn't seem to give that one 100%.
Might still be feeling it in terms of whatever is happening with his hamstrings, cramps, something.
Yeah, it's just cold. Everything tightens up.
Yep. So might not be at his best. Might be that he really put everything into that 80-yard reception and hasn't been able to do it since. 1st and 10 for Bethany here from midfield. Gillen takes it across the 50 to the 45, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of that from Bethany on offense for the rest of the game. Power running up the middle, make you stop us, run the clock, and tire your boys out, because our Gatorade is better than yours.
And I know they've got the 4-star, yada, yada, that's committed to OU, but, being an OU fan, we could use Gillen as running back. I know he's a little undersized and height-wise, but we could use a good running back. We have a few, but...
Man, it does look, checking the scores, that if we get through this one, it will be Elgin we're playing. They're beating Ardmore 43-0 in their first-round matchup. Yeah. Jackson Payne keeping the ball on that quarterback keeper up the middle, getting a first down. Yeah, Elgin looks really dangerous. That'll be a tough game. They're a lot like Tuttle. Spread the ball out a lot, throw the ball downfield a lot. Very different offense from Weatherford. Same sort of idea of spreading the ball out to a lot of different skill players, but the way that they run their offense, type of offense, definitely more air raid style. So, but if Bethany can turn in the film study like they have this week, we could be all right. And it's another false start. Oh, man. It's kind of amazing that this offense has done as well as they have tonight. Given the amount of penalty yards they've accumulated, we've got to be close to 100 at this point.
Yeah,
we've just got to be.
It's an absurd amount that definitely, this late in the season doesn't need to be happening.
There's one of those old Raiders teams, I think, that had Jamarcus Russell on it, racked up a lot of penalty yards. They're giving them a run for their money. Quick handoff up the middle to Melton, fullback in the lineup, or fullback in the formation. First and 15,
penalty.
but it does look like the play is blown dead, and we got flags down on the field. These officials won't leave our guys alone. Another false start. My goodness.
Yeah.
We got to look up the OSSA record for most false start penalties in a playoff game. Our Broncos might be taking it.
But we know exactly what they're going to be working on.
True that. Yeah, at least they've got something to improve on. There's going to be a lot of positives in the film room in practice after this game, but definitely need to work on this. 1st and 20, back at midfield where we started the drive. Payne under a lot of pressure and goes down, had open receivers. Brendan was pointing to him. Unfortunately, Jackson Payne cannot see you at the top of the press box, Brendan.
And nor do they have the view we do. It's a little different being down there with all the guys in your face.
True. I've seen a lot of people in the NCAA groups lately online saying, do the zoom-out view on offense, the coordinator cam. Easier to run the ball. Well, it is.
Yeah.
You can see the whole field. It's a lot easier to run the ball.
I love that view on when ESPN does it. It's like right behind the quarterback.
Oh,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I like that.
It's great. But it's a little bit of a cheat.
Yeah.
If your eyes are up there. I don't think they let you do that yet.
Nope.
So 2nd and 29, clock at 7:50 and running. Ball on the 40. Payne takes a shot right side. Who else but Geisler? Catches it and goes out of bounds at about the 49.
Yeah, good completion, good second down throw. Trying to get something positive, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's going to be a little tough because, like you said, it was second 29.
Up there at the 40. Man.
I think that's like the second or third time they've been at that distance.
That is, yeah. We had a 1st and 29. That's the first time we've had a 2nd and 29 tonight.
And then they got another penalty, and it went to 1st and 35?
No, first and 29 was the biggest we got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank goodness. We haven't gotten into a 30 down in distance yet. So 7:21 on the clock and counting. 3rd and 18 for the Broncos. Payne facing pressure up the middle, takes a shot over the middle, and there's nobody there but Weatherford Eagles, who thankfully dropped the interception.
Yeah, he got lucky right there. That could have easily been an interception and taken back for a couple yards. He was looking for, I think, Geisler once again, but, Weatherford's in the house every single time, and he's got people in his face.
Earlier I compared some throws that Jackson Payne was making to some of the difficult ones that Brett Favre has made in his career, some of those gunslinger-type throws.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Brett Favre sometimes also made throws like that.
Hey, it happens, just trying to get the ball out, not get a sack, and it happens, just instinct.
Just chucks it up, and you're yelling at your TV, "What are you doing?" The next play, he does the same thing. Oh, and it's dropped on the punt. Punter has to pick it up, Denton Jaggers, and he goes down for a loss. Can't get the punt off. The interception would have set him up in worse field position, Brendan. Instead, they're going to get to take over on the Bethany side of the field.
Yeah, so far it's just been little mistakes,
Mental mistakes that'll kill you against a team like Elgin.
We've had penalties that are pushing us backwards. We had a fumble from Gilliland, and we just had a snap, very bad snap on a punt, which is usually routine.
Mm-hmm. Might be that the wind's getting to them a little bit. It does feel like it's kind of picking up. 7:03 on the clock. Weatherford with 1st and 10 at the Bethany 44. They got that different quarterback in again, but he can't get it going. He's got Breck Brady in his face knocking the ball down.
Yeah, no way. I was looking downfield to see what was open, but Breck Brady was right there to stuff him up.
Yeah, Mick Barrett was trying to see what was open too, but it's hard to see over Breck Brady's 6'6" frame, especially when he's got his arms up. Puts him at a 2nd and 10 now from the Bethany 44. Clock stopped. 6:59 left to go in this one. Bethany sitting on a comfortable 28-6 lead. Probably not wanting to see it get cut to a 2-score lead, though. Motion from right to left. They're going to throw it, and it's overthrown. Pass sails over the head of Ty Short from Stone Chisholm. Chisholm's had a rough time throwing the ball tonight.
And as a quarterback, and you're seeing balls getting overthrown, balls not being placed to where they usually are in pregame and previous games, that means he's, anxious. It's like usually you call it kind of happy feet a little bit in quarterbacks. Reasonably he's been, pushed to the ground all game, and it's just very, very stressful as a high school quarterback not to just settle down and make routine plays. But he is a little startled tonight. You
know who else has been getting pushed around but is still making plays? Jackson Payne.
That's true.
3rd and 10. Rolling out to his right is Chisholm, being pursued, looking downfield. The receiver was standing out of bounds with his hands at his side.
Yeah, it was. That's
Cy Scamahorn had given up.
Yeah, he did just give up. Great effort by the quarterback, but just another off-target throw.
I have to say, I'm surprised. I thought Weatherford would take it to us just a little bit more than this. It really seems like that score from their 4-star guy and cutting it back to 14-6 put a lot of momentum back in their pockets, and then the 21-6 just really took it all back out.
And just offensively, not a lot of things have worked for them. The run game hasn't worked. The quarterback draws haven't worked. They just had one lucky play.
Nothing to hang your hat on, really. Yeah, 4th and 10. Chisholm under pressure, escapes, nearly has enough for the first, but he goes down just a little short. Wow. Almost pulled a miracle out of his back pocket there.
Yeah, really good try. He was juking and jiving. He got away for some, almost sacks, but guess who was there to pick him up? Being patient was Gilliland.
Judson Gilliland with the pursuit just stayed on him like glue.
Yeah.
And Stone Chisholm, I do feel for the kid, man. He's really put this one on his shoulders.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think
Not
he's got
at
a lot
all.
of potential. He's got a good arm, and he seems quick. He's got a big build. But, when things don't click with your teammates and your wide receivers and the play calling, it's just tough.
Yeah, that momentum that really had been sucked out from under them, the mentality. Toughness, hard to keep that toughness and that positive mentality when you're just not getting anything done. Gilliland in the backfield with Geisler next to him, motioning from right to left. Gilliland with the direct snap, taking it left side. Picks up a few, spins off somebody else. There's that B button again, Brendan.
Yeah, he's really using it a lot tonight, and it's been working really well. But this late in the game, in the the 4th quarter with 6 minutes to go, this is kind of one of the ones where you need your fundamentals to work. The times where you're tired and you're in practice and you don't want things to, you just want to go home. These are the time you need a ball security and just wrap this thing up.
Keep that clock running, man. No bad snaps, no false starts, no delays of game. Right, it's delays of game, not delay of games. Grammar, folks. 5:50 on the clock and running. 2nd and 3 from their own 43 for Bethany. Handoff up the middle to Gilliland. Pretty much gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard.
Yeah, and like you said previously, Bethany was not surprised. They came well prepared against their star player, offensively and defensively. Our star lineman Ben Saylor's been putting the whoop on him tonight.
Boy, man, yeah, he might be honorable mention player of the game.
Yeah.
Hard to really notice those big guys in the trenches all the time, but they're so essential. Usually you notice offensive linemen more when your quarterback keeps ending up with his back on the ground.
Yeah.
So when you're not seeing that, it means you're doing something right. 3rd and 1, and they'll just do a little tush push to get the yard needed, and a flag down again. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
We can't get away from these guys.
What's
and they're
that
going to call an illegal push. That's a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing, Brendan. We're learning all kinds of new things. Bethany's coach is out on the field looking as confused as we are. He says, much his body language says, I didn't know that was a thing.
That has to be some kind of an illegal push?
I guess so. I know that in the NFL they've cracked down on that a little bit, but at the same time it's still very much something that's in use
it could be that when you have your quarterback under center and you're pushing, you can't have two people behind you pushing you from the back. But from all the years we've played and seen football, that's not been a thing.
That's the popular way to do the QB sneak these days. They really don't even call it the QB sneak anymore. They just call it the tush push since they found out that's what Jalen Hurts and company call it for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And hopefully you guys that are listening can look that up and figure that out, because we don't know.
Yeah, we might have to check that ourselves. We're going to have to consult that OSSA rulebook here. Does really just seem like these officials have been on top of the infractions, especially on the linemen. We got a timeout from Bethany, 3rd and 6 with 4:36 left to go in the game. We'll take a timeout ourselves here. Bethany Broncos football, Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Back here in Weatherford, Oklahoma to see the Bethany Broncos take on the Weatherford Eagles, and it's been nice if you're a Broncos fan. 28-6 is the score. Broncos ahead with 4:36 left in the fourth quarter. Running down this clock, we got a 3rd and 6 from our own 40. Pass hits the ground, nearly completes a Geisler. I swear the wind picked up right when Payne threw that ball.
It was a little bit of the wind, and that was one of the first times we've seen Nixon back there pressuring Payne.
Oh, good point.
And he was right there in his face, which made it a little tough. Off-kiltered throw.
Other than the first half, we haven't seen him get into the backfield and threaten the quarterback much.
And honestly, when you're committed to a D1 school and you're down in the playoffs, you got to back up.
You got to think about got to think about what your priorities are. Can't fault the kid. 4th and 6 from their own 40. Bethany's going to punt it away. 4:30 on the clock. Oh, decent punt. Drops behind Calderon. He falls on it at the 34. Looked like it surprised him.
It did a little bit. It went right for him, hit his shoulder.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Weatherford from the 34. 4:25 on the clock. Mathematically speaking, you could score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, if you had Tom Brady.
Realistically, logically speaking, probably not going to happen with this offense.
You need that Gronkowski, Randy Moss, Tom Brady trio.
A few of those guys. Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Was Gronk there when Randy Moss was there?
No. It's
I
just
don't
like
think that would be crazy. That would
be a cheat
That
code.
offense was already ridiculous.
Yeah.
New running back in there getting the carry, number 9.
And that was one of the first big tackles we've seen. Obviously there's always jumbled up in the middle, but Devontae Melton getting the mix right there.
Love to see it. Yeah, he's definitely been involved on plays, but not really been involved on stops. That's Victor Garcia getting the carry. First time we've seen him tonight.
And that's another person that we need to look up or find out if he has offers or anything, because I would believe so if that's something he wanted in his future.
Who's Melton?
Melton?
Yeah, definitely got the size.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
play at the next level, for sure.
For like fullback or outside linebacker.
Absolutely. I don't know about edge, but it depends on the school.
Yeah.
As a run-stopping outside linebacker, he'd be excellent.
Yeah.
2nd and 11 from the 33. They're going to hand it off to the man around the edge. That's Jet, and he picks up enough for the first down. Nice run. Gets it to about the 50. Clock will continue to run, though, or did he go out of bounds?
I think they stopped on him first.
Oh, no, there we go. And clock is running. 3:30 and running. Counting down towards 0. And a big-time Bethany playoff win. We will have our hands full with Elgin next week Brennan and I will have our hands full with some film study. Dropping back under pressure, barely gets the ball out as Kiefer gets there. Very nearly registering a sack for himself. Got the blurry hand in the selfie. Oh, yeah. Got to commemorate the moment. Big time playoff victory.
I haven't been a part of one. That's why.
I was going to say, honestly, I haven't either. I've done quite a few high school football crews. This is my first playoff appearance and victory, so we'll take it, bud. 2nd and 10 from the 50 here for Weatherford. 3:03 on the clock. Oh, I thought the quarterback still had the ball. I think some of the defense did too. But now they handed it off right side to number 1, picks up a couple of – no, he just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And previously, like I said, I wasn't a part of a first-round playoff win. That's actually a lie. Our producer, my brother, Jordan, his senior year, they went to second round and lost to OCS. But so I have.
Is that Oklahoma Christian School on the northeast side?
Yeah, I think so.
Man.
Yeah, they were really good.
They're crazy. I called a game for them with Blackwell. They had a plane fly over.
No way.
They had jets, dude. It was insane, man. They take it really serious over there. A lot of talented kids. A lot of that, too. 3rd and 8. 2:22 remaining. Big hit there from Gilliland. He was excited at the end of the play, crawling around on the field. There's a lot of reasons to be excited if you're a Bethany Bronco.
Yeah.
This is a big win tonight.
Very big win, and I'd be celebrating my butt off.
You better believe it.
I'm not going to say in which ways, but...
hey, I'll be celebrating my butt off on the hour-and-a-half drive back home, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Might even get to catch a little bit of that Tyson fight if we're lucky.
I hope so. I'll be
that
watching
part of the
my
card
truck.
starts in about 40 minutes is what they say. Minute 45 left here, though. 4th and 4 for Weatherford. Last gasp effort. And it's a bad snap. Ball hits the ground. Doesn't matter who recovered it. It's Bethany football. Kneel down or two should do it. So Elgin next week. Our cameraman Keegan should be happy with that. That's a good drive for him. Very short. Usually he's got to come all the way up from Lawton.
I'm not even sure where that's at.
Elgin, somewhere around Lawton. I had to ask my girlfriend before they came tonight because I didn't know, frankly. I did a courier job earlier in the year, delivered to all corners of the state. Elgin was not a place I remembered. Came to Weatherford a lot. I came to Weatherford a lot. 1:38 left to go. Ball on the 46. Jackson Payne looked to hand it off. There was nobody there. Keeps it, picks up about a yard.
Yeah.
Could have gone worse.
Just a miscue, but, pick up.
At this point, I think their minds are other places.
Yeah.
And fans starting to leave here on the Weatherford side pretty much en masse.
Yeah.
Student section is sticking it out, though, in their cowboy hats.
Yeah,
Dapper-looking crew down there.
For either team, it's, a lost playoff for seniors. That's a little
That's
sad
tough.
thing.
That is tough, yeah. Definitely feel for those guys.
I can still feel the pain.
Brendan, stop breaking down.
I know, sorry.
57 seconds and counting. Might just see a kneel down. 2nd and 9. No, they'll still hand it off. Let Gilliland pick up a few more yards. And the refs got to do it one more time. Let's throw those bean bags.
Yeah, it was number 51 for Bethany's offensive line. I saw him budge. He pulled a little too early.
We've been jumping quite a bit, like you said earlier, Brendan. Definitely something that they'll be talking about in practice, team meetings, whatever have you. Do you have team meetings in high school?
Typically Sundays,
yeah.
You could have position. That's what we did, was quarterback, days, and you went over film and stuff like that. But typically Thursdays are team study and at nights and stuff.
Dig it. Never really got to do it at that high school level. I gave up. I was too much of a nerd. That 8th grade Deer Creek B team experience did not
it ruined
leave me wanting more. I had one tackle, Brendan. So Jackson Payne kneels it down with 45 seconds to go. In terms of the rules of the game, we've got to do it one more time, but we're going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, very, very exciting for Bethany, and I think if they play the way they did tonight, on to come next week against Elgin, like you said.
We've got a shot.
we've got a really, really good shot. Offense looked great. Little bit of a slow start. Defense looked even better, and that's something you want. Holding a team like Weatherford to 6 points is really, really good.
You know, there's an argument to be made for the fact that we had so many mental mistakes on the offensive side that will give them the incentive to want to improve and be better, and we won't get cocky and think, hey, we did everything perfect last week. We'll do it perfect again next week. Celebratory somersaults in the end zone from Braxton Mullins and Judson Gilliland. They have a reason to be happy.
Like to see
Final score as the clock hits 0. Bethany Broncos 28, Weatherford Eagles 6.